Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my premium inspiration page for Scrap-A-Sketch, and that means I'm using a premium subscription sketch. This is one of the December sketches, and I picked it because it's so simple and so adaptable, and I can make it look like so many different kinds of pages. Um, I have chosen to use some scraps that were already on my desk. I already had my only 3 boxes of embellishments from Flower Emporium, which, as you know, it is the collection that's been on my desk for a while now, and I don't see any reason to stop using it, to be honest. Um, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here. The sketch, I'm going to stick pretty closely to it. I may have, this is from a scrap that was only 7.5 inches wide, so I made it a 7.5 inch square, and I believe that the page would work better with a larger square, and then the little frame square could be larger. I'm trying to pull all the crumbs off the page so that I can start putting things down. Okay, what I've done here is I've distressed the edges, and I accidentally made a little divot right here, and so I made an intentional ones kind of, opposite it. And I'm gonna put the adhesive kind of towards the center so that the edges sort of kind of curve up. It just will give it a little more dimension. I'm not going to exaggerate that a whole lot, but okay, this already has, what I did was cut a 6.5 by 6.5 square, and then I put it on my trimmer and cut an inside square with 3/4 missing. And so somewhere I have a 5 3/4 inch square that I'll use on another page. Okay, so this, I want to make sure that I get the writing going the right way. Let's see that I don't have anything upside down. That is upside down. So I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to just kind of, is this writing? This writing is upside down. Okay. I'm glad I checked the other one. Let's move that up a bit. I don't necessarily want it exactly, well, let me make it, if I don't want it exactly, I need to make the difference more noticeable. I'd like more of a margin here than down here. No particular reason, it's just if I don't have a reason for something to be just kind of squared in the middle, I don't necessarily like the way it looks. Okay, this is going to go here. This one's going to go here. And I maybe want this to go over that frame, so this can go further so that I can fit the title. And that's going to be the important part. Okay, let me get this on here, and then I'll know where I have to put everything else. Okay, this can't go any farther over than that, so I will leave it there. I'll go ahead and glue the title on. I really love the contrast. That's kind of why I picked that title, and I'm going to have to add a little bit of orange, maybe over to the other side of the page, in order to balance it. I don't it's definitely an accent color. I don't have a lot of orange on the page. Okay, I'm gonna put that right there, try to get it straight. I think that's gonna work, and then I'll press it down. Okay, now I will put this in. It's gonna fit kind of under that photo, I think, and I have a clip that I want to use to kind of hold it. It'll look like it's holding it onto the frame, and it's going to be right there, and that should work. I will put some of this on here. I'm going to do it like that. Okay, and then I have this. I'm going to distress it. It's something that came with the kit. It says New York Public Library, and that has no particular meaning to anybody, and it doesn't have to. It's just that it's kind of, we've always kind of joked that my cousin John has an encyclopedic brain. He knows a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. He's a very, very intelligent guy, and he's I'm sure the type of person who would absolutely go nuts in the New York Public Library. I'm going to kind of put that so that you can still see the frame down here. And I was going to put it on some foam, but I think I'm just going to adhere it normally. Kind of go like that. And then I want this little bunch of flowers. Let's see, where I know somewhere I have a roll of dots, foam dots, and I want one for this. These are a small version of the flowers that I'm going to be using. Let me get that right. There. I think I needed two, and if I can get that up, I will add one. I can't get it up, so I will forego that one, and we'll move on with the rest of the page. Okay, this is the pop of orange I was maybe going to put over here, and I can probably use that dot for that. I'll put that right there. And now I have this bunch of flowers to go kind of right in here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down on the very bottom edge so that it'll stick when I stuff it under the photo. So I'm going to put that right there. And then I have a leaf, a vellum leaf. I'm going to put a tiny bit of adhesive down at the bottom by the stem, because that's the part that's least likely to show. And I'll slide that underneath and press it down and kind of curl it up so it has some dimension. Now I'm going to go here and place this kind of on the edge here, and it's on acetate, and I'm going to trim the acetate to more closely follow the shape of the flowers. In a perfect world, it wouldn't make any difference, but I'm lifting these up off of the background, and there will necessarily be a shadow cast, and I'd prefer the shadow to be that of a floral shape rather than the kind of the random shape of the acetate. Okay, so that was not a necessary thing, but just kind of a little nicer look. Okay, and here I have another acetate leaf sprig that can kind of curl down, and I like that a lot. Wasn't sure how this was going to look. There we go. And now I have another leaf that I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive down by the stem because it's vellum, not acetate. And I'm going to adhere it right here so it's kind of up over the frame and has some dimension up above it. Now I'm going to put this little tiny vellum word strip or phrase strip. It says, "This brings me joy." What this is for my cousin John's birthday. He loves to cook, and he loves trying new food combinations. I mean, he's really into, he's an amazing cook. And I think I've told the story about when I arrived at his house in San Antonio, the wonderful aroma of seafood Creole came wafting and met me at the doorway. It was amazing. Really, really good. And so anyway, what we did was there's an amazing grocery store in the Houston area, and I wish they were here in Georgia, but they're kind of a Texas institution, and they have a fabulous reputation because of the quality of their stores, and it was definitely my store of choice. It's called HEB. And those are the initials of the owner, Herbert E. Butts, and so he calls it HEB. And so we went to HEB. I went to HEB with my cousin John's son, Ben, and we bought kind of snacky things like you see on the table, but we also got him some really good unfarmed shrimp, and I'm going to put that right there, and I think we're done. I was thinking about doing some splatters, and I was thinking gold because there's a little bit of gold there. So let me see. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. And I just noticed something else. There is a strip above this. You know, for my white cardstock, I use the white backs of pattern paper that I either have duplicates of or that I don't think I'll use. So that's what this was. And So it's actually not that much wider here than it is down here. I think I kind of like this. Think I'll do some journaling on this green strip here, particularly with the date and stuff. And I'll write the story of the trip to HEB and all the things that we got. I still have kind of a little list of specific things that we got. Not the least of which will help us when we want to shop for those things next time we go. Okay, so I'm happy with this, and I hope you'll check out www.scrapasketch, just like it sounds, .com, and check out, there are printables, which are, it's a really economical way to expand or fill in or just start anew different themed collections and different their collections are organized by theme and by color and by type. Their whole every imaginable color and style of tickets. If you love scrapping with tickets, check out the printables, and there are tickets. Usually, the early collections, there were tickets in each collection, and then there got to be some colorful collections of tickets. So anyway, those are they're great, and they've also got you can subscribe to the sketches. And that's what I've used today. Is one of the sketches that's available by subscription, and it's very, very inexpensive. And once a month, you get a delivery of these fabulous sketches. And if you know Lisa's sketches and you're in the Scrap a Sketch group, you're already familiar with how wonderful her sketches are. And I will tell you, these subscription sketches are kind of the extra mile. There are also a couple of books filled with sketches. So if you really want a great Christmas gift, if you know any scrappers, these sketchbooks are or a subscription. You could get your best friend a subscription to the latest sketches. So and there are some stencils out there. It's a great, check out scrapasketch.com, and I know there's something you love. And when you're checking out, use my code ScrappyCathy10, and you'll get a 10% discount at checkout. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.